Have you ever really thought about how a city gets built? I mean, what if it's not about geography or rivers, but almost entirely about human will? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into. The incredible story of Dubai's leap from a quiet patch of sand to a futuristic metropolis, all fueled by pure ambition.
I mean, just look at this. This contrast is the entire story in a nutshell. On one side, you have Dubai's past, a small, humble community living off the sea. And on the other, you've got the Dubai we know today, a place that honestly looks like it was ripped from a sci-fi movie. So the big question is, how on earth do you get from that to this?
Well, the answer starts way before any of the flashy skyscrapers even existed. You see, compared to its neighbors, Dubai didn't have massive oil reserves. Its leaders knew they had to play a different game, so they focused on something way more fundamental, building an unstoppable economic engine. It was all about laying the groundwork for a true global gateway.
And check out how smart these early moves were. First, they dredged the Dubai Creek. It sounds simple, but it was a total game changer, letting bigger trade ships in. Then, boom, Port Rashid opens, the city up to the whole world. After that came the absolute beast that is Jebel Ali Port, one of the biggest man-made harbors on the planet. And finally, the first real signal of what was to come, the city's very first skyscraper.
You have to just picture this for a second. For a while, this single tower was standing almost completely by itself. Just this bold declaration sticking right out of the desert. It wasn't just another building, it was a promise. A promise of the insane skyline that would one day shoot up all around it. Okay, so once that economic engine was humming, Dubai shifted gears. The next phase wasn't just about moving goods anymore, it was about building a global brand. And they did it with architecture that was so loud and so ambitious, you just couldn't ignore it. This was about broadcasting a message to the entire world.
And these were the icons that shouted that message. You've got the Burj Al Arab, right? The famous sail-shaped hotel, sitting on its own man-made island. It became an instant symbol of luxury. Then you have the sleek Emirates Towers, these twin symbols of corporate cool. And all along, Sheikh Zayed Road was morphing from just a road into this incredible canyon of glass and steel.
You know, there's a quote that just perfectly nails the vibe of that era. A city where the desert was transformed into a skyline and dreams were turned into concrete, steel, and glass. That says it all, right? This wasn't just construction, it was turning pure imagination into physical reality.
But then, just when you thought that was peak ambition, things went to a whole other level. Dubai entered this phase that honestly felt like it was defying the laws of physics. They went from building on the sand to actually engineering the impossible, literally reshaping the earth itself.
The scale here is it's hard to wrap your head around. We are talking about millions and millions of tons of sand and rock, sucked up from the seafloor to build brand new land where there used to be nothing but water. This was the raw material for one of the craziest projects ever attempted, the Palm Jumeirah.
So how do you even do that? The process itself was just incredibly audacious. Step 1, you reclaim huge areas of land right from the Arabian Gulf. Step 2, you somehow shape all that new land into these impossible designs, like a giant palm tree or a map of the world. And step 3, you build entire cities right on top of it all. It's wild. At the very same time Dubai was pushing outward into the sea, it was also racing upward into the sky. And the result of that race? This number right here. 828 meters. That's over half a mile high. It's the Burj Khalifa, the tallest thing humanity has ever built, an absolute monument to engineering. Now, here's a concept you really have to get to understand modern Dubai. The city isn't just a random collection of cool buildings. It's actually a series of these massive, self-contained experiences called master-planned communities. Think of them as entire cities within a city, all designed from scratch from a single vision. And this whole approach is how you get these fully engineered districts that seem to pop up out of nowhere. I mean, think about the Dubai Marina. They literally dug canals into the desert just to create a waterfront city. Or downtown Dubai, a perfectly planned city center with the world's tallest building as its anchor. It's all built by design.
So, after you've built the biggest and the boldest, where do you go from there? Well, the focus in Dubai is evolving. It's not just about being the biggest anymore. Now it's about being the smartest, the most innovative, and maybe even the most culturally rich.
And you can totally see this new direction in the city's latest landmarks. The Museum of the Future, it's not just a cool-looking building, it's a giant statement about innovation. The Dubai Opera is all about embracing global arts.
Expo City is now a hub for thinking about sustainability. And the Dubai frame is just genius. It literally frames the view of old Dubai on one side and the new skyline on the other.
What's really mind-blowing is how that same engineering know-how, the kind that used to move sand and steel, is now being used to create life itself where it just shouldn't exist. The Dubai Miracle Garden is this massive, colorful, floral paradise smack in the middle of the desert. It's proof that they can engineer not just buildings, but nature itself.
And that really brings us right back to the core idea. Dubai's story isn't one that was written by geography. As the quote says, it's a city not built by nature, but by human determination, planning, and fearless ambition. An ambition that just refused to believe in limits.
And that leaves us with this one huge, thought-provoking question. Dubai has basically proven that coastlines, deserts, even the sky, they aren't fixed boundaries. So it forces us to ask, if a city has no natural limits, what then are the real limits of our own imagination?
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.